We're back. Roll Tide, everybody. It's time for a show here on the Bama Tailgate Show, right on the channel. We're going to talk about the Crimson Tide, Reggie Ragland, calling those guys out. Is this team soft? And what do you think about his comments? Basketball in full swing. They had a meltdown against the Gators, but they bounced back. Does this team have a chance to make a run for a national championship? We're going to get into that, brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. Hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. The Azaleas, the Oaks, 2 amazing golf courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. All right, let's get this party started. And that's Mike. You know him. All right. Feel like we're back. Been a while. Look, I'm down in the Keys, pal. And I didn't do any Bama content. Shame on me. But I'm back. It's good to see you. Before, I just want to get right into this. Reggie Ragland giving his take on Bama. What'd you think? Is he right? I felt like he was basically saying that a little soft.
I don't know if soft is the way I took it, but when the back and forth with Reggie, and forgive me for not knowing the other guy's name, Hill Green, the other linebacker, Marvin Constant was a part of that back and forth too, I guess.
Yeah. Nakai. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was really interesting to listen to because I think it gave some of the inside perspective on the 2 different locker rooms those guys played in. Mm-hmm. I don't think Reggie was wrong in some of his outlook. I do wonder if Nakai Hill Green's his responses, I wonder if his response is more reflective of most of today's locker rooms in college football as opposed to just an Alabama problem. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways I had from it. But yeah, I mean, I think Nakai Hill Green had a lot of I don't even call them excuses. It was just they were 16-0 national champs, so they were pretty good.
Yeah.
I got to give Signetti his flowers, man. They came out with a really good game plan. Sometimes that happens. It's and Reggie the whole time's bro, I understand what you're saying, but I played in playoff games. We got hit with really good game plans too. We played against really good teams as well. Yeah. We played against a lot of teams that would have been national champs had we not played them.
Yeah.
And I think that Reggie just goes back to that old school mentality that I, of course, came up with. I know you talk to Shank all the time. I was doing a radio show with Christian Miller the other day. That old school attitude of it doesn't matter what they do. If you play to your keys and you do everything you're supposed to do with, this explosive attitude and this relentless effort, that everything will take care of itself. Mm-hmm. Now, it's not like Saban went and won every single national title, but you were always in the hunt because of that attitude. And I think that the back and forth of that entire podcast that really has kind of blown up is just not only indicative of what Alabama's locker room is now, but I think it's more indicative of the players in 2026. It's just, it's one of those things where you look at it and the lack of allegiance for a lot of college football players sometimes leads to a very matter-of-fact way of looking at things. It's I transferred here and I like this game plan. I like this coach and we gave it our best, man. We really tried. Not saying that's not what Nakai Hill Green was trying to say, but I feel like that's very reflective of this day and age as opposed to what it was when Reggie Ragland was suiting up.
I think a lot of people also question the culture, compared to the culture that Alabama had when Nick Saban was there. The culture of the season started in the gym, the workout regimen, the fourth quarter program, the mentality of doing everything every day to win a championship, no ice cream trucks and stuffed animals. I mean, you were there. Yeah. Pretty grueling physical, type of routine, that every day the process was pushed towards trying to be the best you could be. And then also being fundamentally sound, and when you can't run the football, it's hard to beat a team like Indiana. And I don't know how far away Alabama is. I have a ton of respect for that Indiana team. I really do. Just the way they played the game. We wrote a book on that in Tuscaloosa, right? But how far away do you think we are to being able to beat that type of team?
As farther away than I want us to be. Let's just put it that way. I think Reggie actually said at one point in that podcast, he's like, we should never have a team ever again. As Alabama, we should never again have a team rush for more yards against us than we rush for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes to all the above. Like, sign me up. Put my name right there. I will sign the petition.org or whatever it has to be, the GoFundMe. Like, that is exactly, that sentence alone, that singular goal is exactly what Alabama football is. And I think that I'm a believer in the run game. I'm a believer in building from the trenches out. But I also know firsthand that is an attitude, right? You go into that game with an attitude. And it's not, I think a lot of people think of like the run pass ratio as a scheme thing. All right, you look at it and you go, well, this play works. Gotta have a guy that can pass set really good. To me, the run pass thing about, hey, let's be good at the run game is not really about yards. It's not, the yards will come, but it's the personality of the football team of we're taking you are going to tap out. I'm going to get 4 yards and then I get 5 yards and then I'm going to convert a 3rd and 1. And then I'm going to do it all over again up and down the field. And you will eventually tap out. And that's exactly what Indiana did to us, right? So I think it just comes from a mindset perspective of how far away we are from that. It's not so like personnel or coaching or scheme. It's just that we don't even attempt to go that road right now under Coach DeBoer. And, I know that, they just hired their new offensive line coach, Adrian Clem. I've been told he's a very tough coach. Hoping he brings a little bit of that, but again, Mick, I don't even know what that is now. Like, what is?
Yeah, tell me this. Well, you were on the offensive line with different coaches. What do? They're going to go out there and block for you? I mean, how can a coach on the offensive line make that much of a difference?
Well, I think the difference for me with Joe Pendry was he had. Well, first of all, a lot of that started with Scott Cochran. Let me put it that way. We went from when I changed offensive line coaches, we changed strength coaches too. And when Scott Cochran got there, all of a sudden, it's a lot easier to be tough when you're stronger than somebody else. Let's just put it that way. And I hate to say it that way because that almost sounds like toughness is not like a mental factor. It is, but you have to have the toughness and preparation to go out there and be tough on a football field. You can say you're tough all you want to, but if you're a 180-pound DB going up against a 300-pound pulling offensive lineman, nothing you're going to do is going to look tough or sound tough, right? Like you can say it all you want to. So being bigger, stronger, faster than other guys and more disciplined, that's what makes you tough. So yeah, I mean, I think the offensive line coach for me, from Joe Pendry's perspective, he never did not have an answer, right? And I was just talking about Jeff Stoutland earlier. I remember he takes over for Joe Pendry. He just retired from the Philadelphia Eagles. He was there since he left Alabama.
Remember him. Great.
Yeah,
coach.
he was there. He left Alabama, went through multiple Philly coaching staffs, but won multiple Super Bowls. And guess what? Offensive line has been the best in the NFL for a while now. The Philadelphia Eagles. They have that attitude. They know they're going to run the football against you because they're bigger, tougher, more aggressive, more physical, whatever it is. So Joe Pendry just always had an answer, though. And it allowed you to play so fast because you knew that if you did things full speed the way he wanted you to do them, that you wouldn't get in trouble for anything that went wrong.
Right.
Like he's like, if you step here and your second foot goes here and you have a flat back and your aiming point is his outside shoulder, I don't care what else happens. And so you'd be like, all right, I get that done.
Yeah.
Like 1 step, 2 step, flat back, head there. And that guy would try to swim move you or something. And guess what? The timing of the run was so good, Mark was like already past you, or Glenn Coffey or Roy Upchurch or whoever else. And that was the beauty of it. You knew that you were so well coached in that moment that you never second guessed anything, and it allowed you to play 1,000 miles an hour downhill. There was never once did something happen and Joe Pendry go, well, they just got us.
Look, that felt like the whole season for Alabama, minus a few games. Like, especially the last Georgia game. And that Indiana game, like, I don't know enough. Look, I've watched games with you. That's got to tell you people this. You guys know football, and I know football, but you don't know football like this guy. I sit next to him at the games, and I'm like, oh, look at this. Who is not blocking? And then Mike's like, actually, what happened was, and it's like somebody's doing. So I don't know. Like
I did that to a buddy of mine the other day. We were watching live TV. We were watching live TV and we were watching a Seahawks game. And I think it was a replay from Jackson Smith and Jigba's first year. And it was a 6-man blitz. They brought a few guys off the weak side. And the right tackle was like sifting. He had 2 to block and he had to take the inside man. And the guy I was watching it with is like, tackle, bad block, got the quarterback killed. I was like, whoa. You know me, dude. I'm like hitting the pause button. I'm like, first of all, Jackson Smith and Jigba doesn't know he has a hot route because he's sighting 2 off the right side of the offensive line. He's looking at 2 of them. Look at the quarterback going 2 guys. All right, those guys come and Jackson Smith and Jigba's running a go route. Quarterback has nobody to throw to, so he gets hit in the face.
Right.
But it's the right tackle's fault because you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
And my buddy was like, yeah, sorry, man.
It's intricate, people.
Somebody's like, sorry about that, dude.
In person with him because then he's also patting you on the back. I'll tell you what happened right there.
And I ain't gonna let no offensive line critique go unnoticed.
Well, what happened to us this year, though? I mean, like when you're looking at what we did or didn't do, what happened? I mean, why couldn't we run the ball better?
Well, the timing was awful most of the year. I do think that we have how do I word this? I think we have a talent deficit. I don't think we're as strong as we used to be. Let me start there. Yeah. We're not as strong as we used to be under Scott Cochran. We're just not. It's this all happened when Scott Cochran left and we hired a new staff and we hired the 2 guys from Indiana, I guess, or Illinois, or can't remember where they're from. And this is circa 6 years ago. And it was this big push for like analytics, right? And the GPS monitors, and we're holding this guy to practice because this many steps. And at that point, man, I kind of had to swallow my tongue. I'm like, I guess, look, if you have a question, you have to err on the side of that Coach Saban knows best, right? He's not going to make a bad decision. But I hated it because I was like, man, this is just not what we were built on. The Alabama that I know and that I came through, Mick, was built on keep your freaking mouth shut and get it done. Doesn't matter how many steps or how many whatever you did today or how much your heart monitor is in the red or whatever. It doesn't freaking matter. None of that matters. It only matters if you can go on the field and perform. That's where I always came from. And I think a little bit of that went out the window when Scott Cochran left. I think they hired guys that were very into computer, very into, muscle technology and things of that. And I think a little bit of that left. I think a little bit of it did. Now, you still had a couple of runs there where you had good Bama football teams. But to me, going back to that, after the 20 season when you won the Natty, you started losing a little bit of that edge.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I think you started losing a little bit of that each year where it was like, yeah, man. So all the way to the point where you go back to Saban's last year and you're, a lot of ways you're getting out physical by that Michigan team right there in the playoff,
Right.
And so I think it all starts with that. I think that there's a lack of strength and conditioning like I've been talking about. I think that Wilson Love is a guy that I played with. He's at Oregon now as their strength coach. They seem to be doing pretty good. And so there's just a couple of different ways of looking at it. But it all starts with that. You go to the timing of the run game. I do think we lack running backs that can make one-on-one situations better. I don't think we have a running back that gets out of the corner and puts a move on him and beats him inside and gets down the field. But I think the timing of some of our running plays is off. I think that you would have a situation where an offensive lineman was engaged with the block and the running back's 8 yards behind him or 8 yards away from him.
Yeah.
It's like he's not going to be able to sustain the block that long for the running back to get past him. Or the running back's too close to him when he engages, and the running back runs into the back of him. So, man, look, I go on for days about looking at plays and listing things that were going wrong and what I don't like about the playbook or what I do like about the playbook. But it all comes back to you have to have that mentality that starts in the weight room. I'm about to physically impose myself on everybody we're playing, and then being able to do it and actually operate it at a high level.
Yeah, hey, it's good stuff right there, guys. We're brought to you by Pearl River Resort.
So, Jake, let's break down some game tape.
Hold on, fellas. Steve.
Hey, Jake. You ready to rock?
Let's roll, brother.
Guess we're calling plays at Pearl River Resort. Wow, Jake's first throw scores. And Steve's got the crowd pumped. Man, they're absolutely rolling.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I ain't gonna play
I tell you, Jake's still got game.
While Steve keeps rocking aces. Boom! Jake seals it with a pick.
Come call your own plays.
At Pearl River Resort. Let's roll.
I don't have to be me till Monday.
All right, here we go. Talking a little bit of basketball. And we're brought to you by Silver Star Hotel and Casino right there in Philadelphia, Mississippi. I'm telling you, Philip M. Steakhouse is a great steakhouse. I was down in the Keys. I tried different steaks. The tomahawk that I get at Philip M's is better than any of them. And I think I had 3 down there in the Keys. So
Surprised we got you back from the Keys, man.
I didn't want to come back.
Thought you just set sail and you were just out.
I was on the boat the other day catching all kind of snapper.
Yeah,
It's
you're
all
like
different snapper.
you're like sports media's version of Jimmy Buffett, man. You're just gone. You're just out there. I love it.
You're not one of these times. You guys aren't getting me back. I'm going to stay down there.
Anybody talked to Mick lately? No, I haven't heard from him. He must be in the Keys.
You come down and see me though, and it was the Green Parrot. I haven't even got the shirt on right now. Oh, this is Irish Women's. The Green Parrot was amazing. So anyway, let's talk about basketball. Bama got run off the floor by Florida. I mean, just an embarrassing performance, right? They got Charles Bediako. He's supposed to be our ringer now. Whatever. A bounce back win over Texas A&M. It's just a big win for them. Very inconsistent lately. What do you think this team is? I mean, who are these guys? Are they tough enough to make a run?
I don't know, man. I'm curious to get you and I haven't even had a chance to talk about the Charles Bediako thing. I mean,
yeah,
I'm curious to get your thoughts. I know you have a lot of back and forth with Bama fans. Me over here in Atlanta, it's been national news, so I've been having to deal with it from not just Bama fans, but kind of hearing from everybody else. And my thought on Bediako playing is that I don't know that the juice. I said this before he even took the court. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze here,
right?
Because it really hasn't on the court been worth it. And of course, you're going to give him some time to get acclimated and everything else. But my problem all along has been, okay, what's the best case scenario here, right? Like you get Bediako and he becomes a dominant player, and you go on a run and make the Final Four, or a national championship game appearance, or God forbid, win a title. Is that how you want to do it? Like, that's kind of been my thought all along. Like, do you really want that little nugget or, bit of information to follow you all the way through this postseason and be damaging to what you feel like everybody else has worked for up until this point?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons I have not liked it. I'm actually shocked that Greg Byrne kind of signed off on it, to be real, and that Nate Oats went through with it. But
right.
I think that I look at it from Nate Oats' perspective. Maybe he's, trying to make a statement about it. I know he's gone on record and been like, I hope they change the rule. And Greg Byrne said the same thing, but I've been just like, is it really worth it? Like,
is this
whole thing really worth it?
Yeah, it's like Trinidad Chambliss trying to get a 6-year of eligibility. It's like, and then he doesn't get it, and then we're going to sue the NCAA. Like, it's good for Bama if Bediako can help them make a run to the Final Four. So far, it's been kind of a nothing burger. I mean, he hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been, and it's been some of the other guys on the team too. But I'm with you, man. I mean, we don't have standards anymore. And it's not just him. It's like, you're going to let these guys in Europe play professionally, and then they get to come over here and play in college. Yeah. I mean, this is so far from amateur athletics anymore. And I'm not going to pin this on Bediako. I'm just saying in general. I mean, like, I don't blame Nate for going, hey, you know what, Florida, you got a team of professionals from Europe or Australia or wherever, or, why can't we?
Yeah.
But it is a shame for amateur athletics. I mean, just in general.
I think, Mick, and I don't want to get too deep here, all right, but this might be one of those sessions. I have had this conversation a couple of times recently with my wife. I think for me, the way I try to approach life, just as a core principle, is to treat others how I want to be treated, and not to treat others how they treat me. I think and if you're out there, you're listening, you're going, well, I treat others how they treat me. You know what? If you're that way to me, that's what I'm going to give you back. I get that. I know a lot of people that way. I really do. I have a lot of close friends that approach life that way. Me personally, I'm going to try to treat everybody the way I want to be treated. Do I always do it? No, I do fail sometimes, but that's a core principle for me, right?
Yeah.
That's just how I wish Alabama sports was. I wish that Alabama sports was a reflection to me of what I want the sport to be, or what I want college athletics to be. I want it to be this amateur meritocracy where everything is earned and we're not trying to, skirt the rules or do something out of the box or something that has to be done in a court system. So that's been one of the tougher things to swallow for me. Now, am I still cheering for them? Sure. Did I still watch them play Texas A&M? Yeah, absolutely. It was an incredible game.
Yeah.
Love the way it came down, but I find myself with a little bit less enthusiasm for it than I would have just a few weeks ago before all this madness started. So it's got to be halted. And, I think even my dad's like, NCAA has to do something. I'm like, it ain't the NCAA. They're trying to do something. They get halted in every court appearance they could possibly have because of antitrust laws. And so this is going to be up to some sort of legislation at some point, and there's just no end in sight, man. You're going to continue to, in my opinion, continue to see the Gus Malzahns of the world start to wave goodbye to this mess and be like, yep, no thanks, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out. My buddy Meathead like sent me some texts, and he's like, some of these people want to fire Nate Oats for this season. I'm like, shut up. Like, I'm sorry, but no, none of you guys even care that much about basketball in here. Like this guy's had this program in a better spot than anybody we've ever had on that sideline.
By a
best
mile.
Coach we had. And let me tell you something.
By a mile.
We're lucky that he even stays around here because
100%.
you guys don't care that much.
100%.
You don't. Half of you probably dropped off the minute we started talking basketball. We ought to thank our lucky stars that are over top of Alabama, that this guy's our head coach. Nate Oats is the man. Don't forget that, Bama fans.
Let me now, Nate Oats has not won a national title, but let me put it in perspective for a couple of people. This whole situation is the flip reverse of Curt Cignetti at Indiana.
Yes.
Everybody's looking at Curt Cignetti, and he just won a national title, so it's different. I get it. Nate Oats has not won a national title, but he's almost won the Bama equivalent of a national title when you talk about basketball, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at Cignetti wondering, okay, where's he going to go? Right? No way he can spend his whole time at Indiana and the football program there, right? Eventually he's going to leave. He's going to find a situation a year or two from now where he goes to an SEC team or some kind of blue blood program at USC, something like that, right?
Yep.
That's how people look at Nate Oats outside of Alabama. They keep looking at Nate Oats going, man, eventually he's going to leave there, right? A few Final Fours, Sweet 16s. Like, he'll go to a program that's actually a basketball school, right?
Right.
That's what I try to get Alabama fans to understand is, like, we're that program. Like, we're those guys. So if you want Nate Oats ousted, just check yourself, man. Like, this guy is by a mile the best thing we've ever had. I do frown on the Bediako ordeal, but I can sort of understand his logic. I just don't agree with it. And I can leave it at that.
Yeah. I think we're all both on the same page. All right. Final thing I want to tell you before I talk about New Life Art and our promo code Bama Tailgate, 20% off when you pimp out your man cave. And you can see behind me, I've got a great collection of Daniel Moore prints. I know that you guys do as well. Pick up some of the new stuff, including the Mark Sears print that I can't wait to get my hands on because I ordered that one. I like the basketball prints. And use our promo code when you do that. So newlifeart.com, promo code Bama Tailgate. Super Bowl is coming up on Sunday. Big game between the Seahawks and the Patriots. And this one, isn't this in like Levi Stadium in California?
Yeah, Santa Clara, man. Santa Clara.
Yeah. No interest in going there. The worst national championship game was played there. And they were like, are the 49ers playing? Like, nobody even knew about
it's crazy.
it.
It's crazy out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dude, I had a friend of mine that was a Stanford grad. Might have been 2012 Falcon season, and we were suiting up for Monday Night Football. Like, I mean, big game. I remember who we were playing, but it was some kind of big Monday Night Football game in December. My buddy that had gone to Stanford, he got injured earlier in the year, and he was rehabbing back at home. And it was like the greatest text I'd ever seen because we're suiting up, and we're like, dude, your nerves when you're about to play on like Monday Night Football, you're like, dude, everybody in the world, you feel like everybody in the world is watching this. Mm-hmm. And our buddy texted us probably 30 minutes before kick, and he was like, I just wanted y'all to know I just walked into a sports bar in, Palo Alto or something. And he's like, and nobody even knows there's a football game coming on tonight. And I was like, That might be the greatest thing I've ever heard. You know, like they're so clueless out there in California. Like, what? Monday Night Football? What is that?
Medical marijuana.
Is that a soccer game? Is that I don't even know what that even is. So, no, man, it is wild, and I love how the Super Bowl logo. It's not even trying to fake that it's in San Francisco. It just says Bay Area or like whatever else, you know. Like it's like we're not even really close to San Francisco.
No.
We're just gonna write Super Bowl 60 Bay Area. Like
Yeah.
good, yep, that'll work, man. So. It should be a good matchup, though. What are you eating? You got some good food going on for Super Bowl? Or what?
I'm going down to my buddy Boyd's for the Super Bowl party, and I stopped by and saw the best capper that I know, Father Carl Hellwig at Ascension Catholic down in Boca Raton, and he loves to give the lines. And Father Carl is telling me the holy capper. He's telling me that the Seahawks
some
are
of
going
the
to
stuff you say. I swear to God, it sounds like it's made up. You sound like you're like it's like an office outtake from The Office, and just listening. You're like the best capper I know, Father.
He is Father Carl Hellwig. I guess he gets a little help from upstairs.
The first thing that comes to my mind is like, man, how did he come up with the name Carl Hellwig? Like, what a good,
his real
you know
name.
what I mean? I know, but it just sounds like you're just going off the rip and just, so good, man. Best handicapper I know, Doctor.
He's been nailing them all. And he told me it's the Seahawks. He said that the Patriots only scored because Bo Nix was out. It's because they would have gotten blown off the field. They can't move the ball. Seattle, he says, is good on both sides of the ball. They'll stop you on defense. They'll score on offense. The real Super Bowl was the Rams and the Seahawks. It's a 4.5-point spread right now. And the Holy Capper tells you to take the Hawks and fly.
I mean, here's where
you can do it at Golden Moon Casino, by the way, at the Timeout Sports Lounge.
Here's where I always struggle with this topic, because the football in me goes, yep, Carl Hellwig, Father Carl Hellwig, he's right, because there's a lot of football science in that. But the gambler or the wagerer in me looks at it and goes, man, there's too many people moving in New England's direction.
Yeah.
It seems too simple. Everybody has not New England's, Seattle's direction, moving away from New England. It seems too simple, man.
Too easy.
Right, too easy, man. Everybody has that thought process. Duh. Like there's people having the same conversation all over the United States right now about Bo Nix and his injury and the Patriots and everything else. And that's where they get you, man. Like that's where Vegas gets you. So we talked about this on the show this morning, probably talk about it tomorrow again. If I were doing it, I'd bet against the public. And I'd just say, dude, the 4.5 points is just gonna have to happen. And I would I'd take New England plus the points, man. Rabel's been in these spots. I read where New England's they didn't even install their full game plan until this week. Like they waited a week. There's too many people in New England that know their way around that. There's nobody in Seattle from their last Super Bowl run. Like there's still plenty. Josh McDaniels, the OC, like he's been there a million times. I'm pretty sure Dante Hightower's on their staff,
right?
If I'm not mistaken. So it's I don't know. There's a lot of ups and downs to it. I think it's gonna be a good matchup either way.
Yeah, the over-under is 45.5. I think that's going to be close to the number, but I would go with the under there. The All-American Golden Boy Drake May against the guy that no one thought would be in this spot, Sam Darnold. Who would have ever thought that Darnold would be? And he's good, man. Have you watched him?
Oh yeah. I think there's a lesson for NFL fans watching Sam Darnold. We've been talking about this with Michael Penix over here in Atlanta about just throwing away a quarterback or casting off a quarterback after a year or 2 years or 3 years. There's so much development that goes into that position, You can break it down, and I think you can break it down into split field coverages and what you're doing with this, what you're doing with that, and there's just so many things that go into the thought process of playing quarterback that sometimes you have your Baker Mayfields who need time to learn the game and flourish that way, or you have your Sam Darnold or whoever else it may be, man. I just get so happy for Sam Darnold, especially this week. Have you seen all the stuff about his grandfather being the Marlboro Man?
No, was
dude,
he?
Oh yeah, dude. Sam Darnold's grandfather, the Marlboro Man. You need to go look this up.
You guys remember the Marlboro Man? He was like the cowboy that went with the cigarettes.
And in reality, I can't remember all the titles he had, but it was something insane. Like he was also an Olympian or something.
Well, the Marlboro Man, like I think it was the Durham Bulls ballpark had him like he was just like he was in the outfield somewhere. Like if I remember correctly, or some of these old baseball stadiums.
He was I'm trying to think that like the Sam Darnold's grandfather, who they've been talking about lately, was some kind of Olympian and had all these other kind of roles, which he's basically the most interesting man alive. And it's funny that Sam Darnold, has turned out to be a Super Bowl quarterback. So it's been, I love Super Bowl week and all the stories that come out because you get some of the more intricate details, although there's also some bad moments, but we don't have to get into that.
Yeah.
Some of the questions that come out in some of these press conferences, I'm like, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah.
People trying to just use the moment to go viral on their Instagram. And I'm like, dude, just go away.
Yeah. The idiots come out. All right, I'm gonna pull the Marlboro Man up for you guys before we get out. I can't like not show the Marlboro.
Can't
Man
leave it hanging. Most people would know.
You can't advertise cigarette. You can't even advertise smoking anymore. When I was in Key West, my friends that I get all my lamps from were like the guy went over and bought cigarettes $10 a pack. Did you know they're like $10 a pack now?
Is that a lot or a little?
Dude, they used to be like $3.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's tax down there. I mean, it's the sin tax, right? I mean,
yeah, sin tax.
So
you're going with the Patriots? That they're going to straight up win or just cover?
No. Just give me the points. Oh, hey, here's what it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. I forgot what his name was. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Swear to God, this is not a joke. Because I just Googled it.
Oh boy.
Sam Darnold's grandfather, Dick Hammer, is the stuff of LA legend.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you're gonna want to look.
So you're telling me that name's taken?
I'm telling. Right. So anybody out there looking to name their child that, Richard Bernard Hammer is that's already taken.
God, that's a hell of a name right there.
That's a hell of a name. Unbelievable.
On that, I think I'm going to go with that for myself now. Just call me Dick Hammer.
Richard Hammer. Richard.
What a way to end this show. Hey, let me remind you guys that if you want to make your hammer swing, go over to Golden Moon Casino in the Timeout Sports Lounge and 4.5. That's Super Bowl spread right now. Good lines could change, but it's an hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. Enjoy the game on Sunday. We'll be back with more content. And thank you guys for being patient throughout my vacation. Mike, roll Tide, my friend.
Roll Tide.
So, Jake, let's break down some game tape.
Hold on, fellas. Steve,
Hey, Jake, you ready to rock?
let's roll, brother.
Guess we're calling plays at Pearl River Resort. Wow, Jake's first throw scores.
And Steve's got the crowd pumped. Man, they're absolutely rolling.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I ain't gonna face reality.
I tell you, Jake's still got game.
While Steve keeps rocking aces.